One sec. Need some chain juice. Happy days. Huh? Here we are. Right. Look at this. I've dug out my old iPad Bluetooth keyboard from Logitech, and I can now use it with Zwift or anything else, which is brilliant because now I can like type a million miles away from the whole gaboosh. I think it still works, anyway. Yep, this is my worst track. But I suppose you could have a mixture of everything. No, some people invited me to come and do this, so so here I am. I've never raced on any of the crit city courses, so it's new, and it's nice to do something new. Whoop. Not that big. Yeah, I'm gonna do two things. Righto. Thanks for the tips. No chance solo. That's good then, because I'm not really wanting to go solo. But I'm here for the fun. I'm here for the fun. I've got a group ride coming up after this that I want to do. More for just shits and giggles. But this is going to be the starter for today's ride. And Charlie has got a cold. Charlie, for those of you who don't know, my other half, my better half actually. She's absolutely full of cold. And I saw her yesterday. And I woke up this morning like I felt okay. But I'm not going to risk like pushing myself too much. If I catch it, I catch it. But some things happen, don't they? But I'm confident that I'll surpass it. We should make that that group bridge, haven't we? It's quite a way away. Yeah, it'll only take us 20 minutes to do this race, I'd have thought. A few other things. Somebody very kindly, Johan, you might have seen him in the chat a few times, from Sweden. He's very kindly donated to help for me to improve this stream. And we're going to get a better mic, because at the minute the mic is just coming straight from the webcam. So we're going to sort that out later today. I'm going to pick up a mic. I've asked around a few people what their recommendations are, so pretty much sorted. But thank you, Johan. That's very kind. Okay. Yeah. Johan hype. That's nice, isn't it? It's very nice. Okay. I have absolutely no idea what to expect. When you first jump on the bike in the morning, it's not the most comfortable thing in the world to sit on, is it? The reason why I picked today's ride is because I've got to work on my weaknesses, and obviously sprinting or short efforts, they are a big part of that weakness, so I'm going to suck it up. These are the ones I won't win. Well, these are the ones I won't, you won't see me do 7 watts per kilo. And I forgot to change my bike, I've just realised. So I've basically got a climber's setup. Of course we'll get in there and try. I'm no warm up either. That was a tasty drag. Whew. My handlebar tape is still soaking wet. Oh, the feather's good use. I know, innit, Paul? I don't think so today. So, where's the best place to sprint? Like, those ups and downs are pretty interesting. The outcome? Well, I come as Zwift power, I still won, so nothing changed. Hey up! Oh. I like this, there's lots more colour on my chart. It's quite enjoyable. Can't imagine going around here for an hour. I'm catching up with some. Thank you guys. There's lots of information there. Tell you what, that little drive there, that's going to be hard, isn't it? The last lap. I'll recover from the sprint. I had a feather, Andy. Perfect, wasn't it? Look at all these dirt riders. Carbs versus sugar. No, it depends. Yeah, you're right, I guess, but it depends how hard those 2 to 3 hour rides are. Oh, we've got an aero. Oh, we've got an aero. Open the window again. Whew. I will save it, I will. Okay, this is backing off. Thanks, Louis. Morning. I'm going to be doing a group ride after this, so the intensity will be a lot lower. I'll be able to talk a bit more. So if you've got any questions or anything, then I'll be able to talk a bit more about it. A few digs going in. Lots of feathers. Sprint. Gardner's gone. know. What do you reckon of that? Hit the sprint. Hit the front of the last corner. Is that a long way to go? Is it about 150 meters? $5,000. Oh, I'd be happy if I had 100. Dirty AF. That's brilliant. Yeah, they look fun to race. So I guess send you one go off the front each time. I was warned prior to this. Have we got one lap or 2 laps? 2, is it? 81 per kilo. 15 seconds. I'm not going to beat him then. Thing is, you could argue that I'm not here to win, but I'm here to enjoy trying to match myself against people who are stronger than me at this discipline. Top 5. It's a good target. Good target. Yeah, it's all 20-minute hills though, isn't it? Yeah, what do you mean by professional races, Andy? Oh no, it's the bug. Oh, no? Oh, okay. That was weird. I thought the finish was under the banner. That's a weird one, isn't it? Not bad. That wasn't what I thought that's not what I thought the finish was. Well, I guess it all got a bit hectic, didn't it? Over the top of that final drag. There's nothing, was it really? But everyone was all over the place. To go back to your point, Andy, UK professional races, so I'm guessing you mean the Tour of Britain or Tour of Yorkshire. I can't race those this year. I made the decision to not race them. So yeah, I'm not racing them. St. Piran can't race them because they're not a UCI team. So not that I'm missing out. It depends. Like Tour of Britain did have a summit finish on Heathrow one year. So if I've made the call wrong, for example, and they have a summit finish this year, then I may have missed an opportunity, but I'm still young, so it's all about perspective. Somebody, Matt Holmes won the final stage at Wollonga Hill in the Tour Down Under. Spoiler alert, sorry. We had some battles on the climbs in the UK, and it's good that it didn't go kind of unnoticed, because people were saying on Twitter, like, your sparring partner, aka Matt Holmes, just won a stage won the Wollonga stage in the Tour Down after being in a break all day, and that's a fabulous ride. But some people saying on the tweets, like, just shows how strong some of the riders are in the UK, and the UK scene, and the race in itself doesn't do it justice almost. The Tour of Yorkshire and the Tour of Britain, we kind of get diluted a bit because of the World Tour guides just control the race all the time. But then I think when we do get the chance, when we go abroad, and I've done it in like the Tour of Japan and things, where we're kind of not really known, or we are known, but people don't really know what to expect. They haven't raced against us week in, week out. Then you really show your strength then, and that's what Matt did. Okay, on to the group ride. Thank you, Andy. Thank you. I put in a lot of hard work. I'd say a very small part of it is talent, but I put in a lot of hard work. And I'm very quiet when I'm doing it as well. So, well, apart from when I'm doing live streams. But no, you know what I mean. Oh, okay, that's interesting, yeah. Yeah, I know, Andy, like, that's why, like, I'm quite passionate about, like, the social media stuff and, leveraging YouTube, but not just YouTube. Like, I knew everybody's got an Instagram account, everybody's got a Twitter account, in the UK elite racing scene. So frustrates me that some people don't use it better. But I'm empathetic, but I know that we've got to share what we do, because not enough of it gets shown. And the thing is as well, like if you go on like Ineos's YouTube channel, lots of it is very curated, so it's, you know, they've got a very good videographer and all this, you know, to make it a very good production. And that's all very well and good. Like you can have, say, I think personally, like the 80-20 rule applies. You can have 20% of your content could be that, you know, very well edited, very shiny, very good looking. The rest of it should just be crap, as in, like, everything and anything that's going on, you should just be sharing it. I think that's kind of why, I don't know, the British Hill Climb Challenge video that I did, that wasn't what I'd call shiny, because it was almost like a day in the life, but it seemed to go down very well. It seemed to go down very well. You know, that was kind of a little bit, it was almost the same as my other content, really. No, we don't. I mean, we don't hear. I mean, I don't know anything about the Dutch racing scene, the French racing scene, anything. Like, I don't know what kind of situation that's in. But we always hear things like, you know, we always hear things with British cycling team that it's on the low. Yeah, you need it. Yeah, you're right. You need a good domestic scene, because the example I use is when I started cycling. You know, when I was a junior, I did the Junior Tour Wales, and then after that, I went straight into like GLT Condor, Rafa Condor GLT, and like there was almost like 5 riders that were in a development phase there, including myself, that would then be taken to a certain extent. And unfortunately, we don't really have something like that now, like we did then. And it's almost like, well, where are all these kind of hundreds of junior riders that are coming through? Where are they going to go? A lot of them have to feel like they're going abroad and things. So I don't know, you know, whatever they want to do. But I'm just saying, like we don't have that little circle that we had. Hey, don't take a mick out of my 1 watt per kilo ride. I explained earlier on in the stream that Charlie, my partner, has got a horrible cold at the minute, and I feel like if I do anything high intensity for a long period of time, that's why I've just done the Crit City, which is only like 15-20 minutes, then I might suppress my immune system. So we're just taking it easy, and gives me a chance to just chat. And any of you can leave and come back to the live stream and things. So plus it gives me another 45 minutes of just steady pedaling, which if you follow the polarized training, which I tend to lean towards, you spend a lot of time in zone 1, zone 2, which is just conditioning work a lot of the time, and then the rest of the time, which is very little, in zone 5 and zone 6. No, I'm not even fasted. Not even fasted. I don't really have to do that sort of thing because I ride a bike and I coach, so I kind of have the majority of the day to manipulate my food without having to do fasted rides. So I don't really have to necessarily. I don't have to get up early to do a ride, even though I do. But the whole idea of fasted ride, the trend of fasted ride has come from people doing like, you know, they get up early before work and they'll do like a fasted spin to make the most of that time. Okay. So the Dutch scene has club teams. That's yeah. Well, that's the thing now, guys, because a lot of riders, um, are actually riding for elite teams, and the elite teams are actually as good, if not better, um, than the UCI Pro teams, if that's what you want to call them. Elite Vegan. Asia's the future of pro cycling. I tend to agree with you. I've raced in Asia a few times. I love it. I absolutely love it. I know it's a long way away, but it's very good. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, prize money. 100% agree with you. The prize money in Asia is legit. It is legit. I think I came 10th. I came 10th overall in the Tour of Korea one year, and I was second in the best young rider competition. Probably some of you guys probably don't even know this because I didn't really start documenting my journey until after that. But yeah, even for like 10th, we were getting like, we were coming back with like £5,000 or something, £5,000. Yeah, well, minimum salary, like that's all they need, because you're doing it to progress, in effect, unless you're just doing it for the love of it. You can do both. I do it for the love of it. I also do it to progress, but I'm more into self-progression than actually trying to progress on somebody else's terms. But I need to put down a quote somewhere, don't I? Yeah. Wow, this chat is getting deep, isn't it? Who's way stronger? Me. Well, yeah. I'm much stronger than I was when I was top 10, when I was 10th overall at Tour of Korea. Goodness knows what I'd be possible of now, but that's not really the being there, done that sort of thing. Yeah, yeah. The Chinese races should suit you. Hilly, safe roads. Yeah. Well, when we did there's a barrier. That's not good. Oh, the tourist stage in Portugal. Oh, that was like one of the best days I've ever had on the bike. I loved that. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. It was horrendous. Like nobody, let's face it, nobody loved it, but I loved it. It was horrendous. We were going uphill for like, what was it? Like 75 minutes, I think we were going uphill for. Yeah, the Portugal tour. Basically, like Porto, the team, they just demolished everybody, basically. Yeah. No, the Chinese races, or even just all the Asian races, they're all like, the road, like you said, the roads are really safe, and they're like generally good surfaces. It's like the climbs are nice. The Tour of Korea is mostly done on like dual carriageways, and things like that. So it's pretty surreal actually. And we spent, I think this is like 5-6 years ago. Me, Hugh Carthy, Luke Rivel Meller, we flew out early from the Tour of Azerbaijan, and we ended up like staying with the manager of Rafa Japan, because at the time we were sponsored by Rafa, and we stayed in like, well, felt like the middle of nowhere, and it was like mountains all around us, and there was nothing like but just farmland. and there's people working the farms and working the land and stuff like that, and like, I think I spent about 3 or 4 days there prior to that tour of Japan. But I've raced on Mount Fuji. That's one of my all-time favourite races I've ever done. Lamps is proven that, you know, you can go back and still race. You know, there's no like, you don't have to like use the best years of your career to do. Well, I mean, yeah, it is. There is. Actually, there was a small team in the UK that went out to Thailand, and they've done a training camp out there recently. And when I saw it on Instagram, I was like, well, that's a bit strange. But then the more I kind of scrolled to the pictures, it was like, yeah, I can understand why they're there. I've never raced in Spain. I raced in Belgium as a junior. Yeah. Lamps probably will get into e-racing with the baby, you know. He's got to, might be time crunched. Same person could have gone Conti, yeah, you're right, but I feel like everything happens for a reason. Speaking of which, I can't believe what happened to Kobe last night. Anybody else hear that news? That is unbelievable. Yeah, UCI races, that's the only difference. So, for example, me racing the same turn this year, if we'd raced, if we are an elite team in the UK, in fact, we're probably one of the best elite teams in the UK. If we race as an elite team, we can't ride. The things we can't really ride are the tournament in Tour Yorkshire. But if you, yeah, that's the other thing. If you get a good calendar, at the end of the day, I've got to say this as well. But at the end of the day, like the draw, I think the draw of being on a UCI team, it shouldn't be money because there's not a lot in it anyway. It should be the racing calendar. And for me, like, I looked at this year and I was like, well, what races can you guarantee me for this year? And a lot of teams are like, that's the thing, we can't really guarantee any races. So we might be talking about this on the Group Echo podcast, but if you can't guarantee races or guarantee a good racing calendar, then what exactly are you there for? Because at the end of the day, you're trying to get your competitive juices flowing, and you're trying to race to a good standard. Zwift Carbon, the team I was on last year, they just released on Twitter, I think, that they're riding the Tour of Normandy next year, which is brilliant. Like, that's a huge race. I've raced it twice. I think it's twice. Got through it when I was 18. One of the hardest races I've ever done. And yet, that wouldn't suit me at all, you know, Tour of Normandy. So if you know, they'd said to me, oh, we can guarantee the Tour of Normandy, I'd be like, well, yeah, okay, I need to put on like 15 kilos and get an 18 watt per kilo, 15 seconds sprint on me then, you know? So you've got to take everything for what it's worth. Yeah, pro cycling stats is everything. That's funny. It's funny, we've always been to races and people have always said, like, oh, who's racing this race? Or like, you know, you finish the stage and you're like, quick, pro cycling stats, what place did I finish? Did I beat my teammate? Yeah, the Tour Series is still great. Like, it gives you that inside look. It is still good, but it's not what it was. Like it definitely, it was bigger when I did it in 2013, 2014, but you know, things happen. Yeah, Men in Black. It's good that I'm going back to it. I'm going to jump to the back of this group. I was part of the Men in Black a few years ago. Now I'm back again. I'm close. I've been dropped from the front group. The categories were kind of quite poorly, really. And if you think about how what ends up happening is that you have an awful lot of like third and second cats, and the reason for that is that it's quite easy to go from fourth cat to third cat. Easy is not the right word to use, but it's a very small amount of points. I think it's like 10 or 15 points. So if you win a race, so you win your local crit, and there's like 10 people there, and you win it, then you're third cat. And then I think if you go to like, say you're third cat or second cat, and you go to race, I mean this is in Wales now. If you then go to race like in London, Manchester, somewhere up north, probably get your butt handed to, because the difference in like abilities, depending on where you live, it's like the category means, it's almost like Zwift category, like what does it actually mean? What do you mean, Lord? Or which Zwift opponent are you labeling? I think this year is going to be a realization to. I think I'm in like touch wood. I'm in a shape of my life, and I don't want to like pass off the opportunity to like give after it as the hardest whack of my life. Same goes for Sakuraba, same goes for Taiwan. You know, I won't ever get a chance at 26 years of age to do those ever again. I might get a chance when I'm 35. But those 9 years might make a difference, you know, whether good or bad. But I think it'll make, I hopefully, as a side thing, I hope it makes people think about how we label like professional cyclists or elite level athletes. I prefer to be labelled an elite athlete because my numbers are in the top 1% of the world, or you know, I'm as fit as 1% of the population. That's what I prefer to be called. The professional athlete thing, it's never really washed to me, I've got to be honest. And I just like the numbers I want to do, they speak for themselves. Obviously it's nothing compared to when you're racing, because you're going to be able to race and do it, but I know I can do that anyway because I've proven it. But these are the chances for me to try and just do one-off things, and I'd like to make people think, you know, maybe it's not the be-all or end-all. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, a cat won. I mean, here's a good example. So Mike Cumming, who rode for Rapper when I was there, he won the Tour of Korea, and he was a third cat at the time. So how that happens is, say for example, you've moved away for a couple of years. So say you've worked your way up now, you've gained points, you've won races in the UK, and you've got yourself up to like Cat 1. Now, in order to retain Cat 1, you have to score a certain amount of points in the season. If you don't, you drop down to Cat 2 for the next year, Cat 3 the next year, and so on. But you can't ever drop back to 4. So what happened with Mike is he rode as a domestique for a few years then, so he never really won any races. He got some points, but he never got enough to retain his category. So he ended up dropping down to 3rd Cat. And it was a joke at the time, and then he actually like won the Tour of Korea, and we were like, ha, 3rd Cat, won the Tour of Korea. Do you know what I mean? So it's like the cat thing is a little bit obtuse. Yes, I've got 2 camps. Next personal challenge to get corn. It's not all as cracked up to me. Like, don't get corn for the sake of it. It's not what it's cracked up. I'm an elite. According to British Cycling, and I've gained enough points. So I'm an elite rider. So I've got the thing on my license. But you know, I could drop down to 1st Cat at the end of next year. But that doesn't like paint the picture then. Hey, morning Tim. Join us for a solid 1 kilo ride. There are 2 training camps. We've got almost one after the other. So the middle of March, Calpe, with a brand that will soon be revealed. They're also making me my national champs skin suit and kit and whatnot, so that's pretty fun. And then I'm home for like a week, and then I'm off to Mallorca to do Sacalobra. But I'm also there to do some riding as well. But I have a feeling the Calpe one is going to be more photos and PR stuff. So, nah, come on, Tim, you could do this, right? I'm sure. Now this bit is trying not to flipping go past that gate. That's a good question. I am going to race time trial this year. Aero Coach, some of you may have heard of them. They're organising, I think it's 50 non-aero time trials this year. So in other words, you know, you're not allowed to use a time trial bike, you're not allowed to use disc wheel, aero helmet or time trial helmet. You can use an aero road helmet. I don't think you can use a skin suit, but I'm not sure. So yes is the answer. I'm going to be doing them on my Tifosi, my hill climb bike, because it'll be good preparation for Taiwan. You know, especially if I do a 100-mile time trial, it'll be about 4 hours. So that's a perfect length to be able to keep the chain tight, shall we say. When are you coming up to the lakes? When the weather gets better. Because it's probably like Wales, isn't it, this time of year? It's like demon country. Weather is bad, in other words. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Phil could. I don't know if I want to ride with Phil though. He might beat me up some of the hills the way he's going. Like, yeah, the sun's not out yet. Phil's going well. Phil, for those of you that don't know, Bike Racing Without Mercy on YouTube. That's his name. He's going really well. He's knocking on the door for like 4.5 watts per kilo for an hour. And he's a lightweight guy, isn't he? He's like 64, 65 kilos. No, you're right though, Tim. Oh, that'll be great. That'll be great. Are you staying over? Or are you just down and back in the day? He's going to take you for a falafel wrap. Oh, Hog Hill. Yeah, he told me I should go along and race that. I was thinking of doing a day trip to London on the train and then racing Hog Hill and then coming back. That'd be an epic day, though, I think. Oh, sound. Sound. Yeah. Hog Hill's got a bit of a hill, I think. Yeah, I spoke to Phil about. It's hard, I think, because you're almost sometimes when you're racing, you're on the limit all the time, and then you can't sprint from that limit because, well, unless you're a sprinter. But it's hard because you're already kind of at maximum heart rate. But I think as soon as he gets fit there, his heart rate will come down a little bit, so it gives him a bit of breathing room to sprint. I've seen him sprint a few times, and he's actually got really aerodynamic sprint outside, but he likes to push a big gear, and he can't really get the gear over, so he just needs to spin a little bit more in the sprint. You see a lot of the world-class sprinters going 115 RPM, some of them just spinning out that gear, so not that any of us are world-class sprinters, I suppose, but yeah, he is building a good top end, in fairness to him. He's building a very good top end. Yeah. Don't crash his Ferrari. Always Land Rover. Phil is bike racing without mercy. That's his YouTube channel. He's only just started cycling actually, but he's documenting it all. Yeah, that's a good question actually about what per kilo. I mean, it depends, isn't it? Because you could be talking about sprinting or climbing. I mean, let's face it. Like, there's lots of riders who, well, as you say, like they have a lot of skill, and they seem to be in the right place at the right time. They're not necessarily the strongest riders, but they're very good at saving themselves. But I think, yeah, it can be as low as 5. Not that that's low, but yeah, that's skill. Yeah, that's like an extra 10 kilos. Yeah. I think though we've seen. Well, people have said to me that Bernal, Froome, they've all had their best 20-minute powers of like 6.7, 6.8 watts per kilo. And I actually, I tell you who sent me a message. It was Lantern Rouge, the YouTube channel. He sent me an Instagram message. Fatigue resistance is massive, yes. Yes, that is massive. Something I work on a lot. Sorry, where was I? Yeah, and he asked me if I was capable of doing the Motorola or what's it called? The Angler Brew, if I was capable of taking the stronger segments on them. And I said, actually, that was one of the things that came up. Remco apparently did 7 watts per kilo or something for 20 minutes. And the people are saying the power meter was dodgy and it's not right and blah, blah, blah. It might not be right, but I think 7 watts per kilo is possible for 20 minutes. And it's one of my kind of silent targets this year. Yeah, that is scary, actually. But we've got one kid down this way in South Wales who is legitimately strong. So, and he's only 16. Scotty Weiss. That's a terrible joke. I was watching that. Anybody else watch that Pro-Am race the other night? So Scotty won, and then Chris McGlinchey raced against a number of times, was second. But what I'd say is that climb was not long enough to do that. So like Chris, in all fairness to him, is a very strong rider, and that's what gets you over 5-minute climbs. But obviously, the longer the climb, then the strength bit kind of, you have to be extra strong if you want to stay on. You know, he's not a climber, but you've got to be strong to get over those with climbers. And I think Scotty is, I think, for lack of a better word, a climber. But yeah, it was. I was watching it. I was like, how do the commentators not cringe over things like this? You know, I don't know. I'm not. I don't doubt anybody's performance, but I just do what I can do, and yeah, exactly, yeah. I just do what I do and get on with it. Love to race against them, though. Love to race against all of them in the current shape. No, there's no power drop though. I just stopped pedaling. Can I just say, I can't believe how quiet this trainer is. What are you saying, Quentin? You've piped up now, and I've said 7 off a kilo. Yes, thank you, Tim. That's really appreciated. Let's retract that invitation. I'm still yet to get around to that, but when is it, roughly? Do we know? I've not looked at it properly. No, but in all seriousness, it's more of like like if it happens, it happens. But say if I was to do Sacalobra in sub 25, then on a good day, then I think a 7 watt per kilo would be possible. It depends. Yeah. Okay, so if it's close to the tour, I'm doing the Marmot the first weekend of July. Yes, I'll be racing Zwift Nationals, I hope. I'll give them some stick. What's this about Dan? Let me have a look. Dan Evans has raced. Yeah, he's very strong actually. He's raced on the road. He's done lots, like. He's done lots. So he's got 371 watt FTP. So that. Oh, I've messed up. I'm out to the group right. Oh, now look what you made me do. No one give me a heads up. I know, solo. I don't know when the Zwift Nationals are. I'd like to meet Leo. That would be nice. Tips for training for climbs if you live in a flat area. Strength efforts. Like, the thing is, it's a myth that you can't train for climbs if you live in a flat area, because you don't get faster at climbs by training on climbs. You get faster going up climbs by training harder. So just train a lot of like zone 5, zone 6 strength efforts, and you'll naturally progress on climbs, especially if they're shorter, punchier climbs. What the heck? I wanted to scroll back on some of these messages. To go back to your point, Ryan, I'm going to jump off in about 10 minutes or so. Yeah, Dan has raced, and he's a very strong rider. 371 watts FTP, so that gives him around about a 395 watt 20 minute ish, which puts his watts per kilo at around 5.9 to 6. And I know he's roughly about 65 kilos, so 6 watts per kilo for 20 minutes. Yeah. So it goes to show actually like how much of a difference being light makes. But I think there is a bit of a boundary, a bit of a cutoff. Like 60 kilos is a nice round figure. Oh. Yeah, there is a difference, yeah. I think it's closed. The gap is closed as I get a little bit better indoors, like riding hard indoors. But it's still about 10 or 20 watts. Right, do you want to go out the mic, Tim? I'm live for another 5 minutes-ish. My bottom is getting a bit sore now. Plus, I've been booted from this ride, so I'm pretty sure they were doing 45 minutes, but I'm just going to do 40. Because I did do that crit race, which you can rewind and see, and I came 5th. Oh yeah. Well, I will keep a lookout. We've got a chat tonight. We've got a chat down the cycling club. We're talking about time travel. Oh. Anybody else riding today? Oh, nice. Right, guys, I don't want to keep you any longer because there's not much happening, is there, to be honest? And we've spent a lot of time chatting, which I appreciate. So, I will see you tomorrow, actually. I might be on tomorrow morning. And then I'm on K tomorrow night. I hope. So, I'll see you then. Ugh. Yeah, I'll try not to get that cold. I can feel my throat going now, though. But we'll see. See you with the mama, Ryan. Spicy races. Oh my word. I'm really looking forward to that then. Alright. See ya.